So let me welcome all colleagues for the 15th webinar on the National Good Governance webinar series for the year 23-24. Today's theme is Samagra Shiksha. As you would recall, the Honorable Prime Minister had directed DRPG to conduct virtual conferences with district collectors and other officials on specific themes and sectors, in which the award winners of the Prime Minister's Awards for Excellence in Public Administration since the inception of the scheme under that sector would be invited to present their experiences. Accordingly, the DRPG has been conducting National Good Governance webinar series, and so far we've had 14 webinars from April 2022 till date, that is held on the last Friday of every month. Each webinar is attended by about 1,000 to 1,500 officers, and a compendium of the National Good Governance webinar series was released by the Honorable Vice President of India on 20th April 2023 in the inaugural session of the Civil Services Day events. Today's theme is Samagra Shiksha, and the award winners that are being presented today are the District Collector of Chitrakoot, Shri Abhishek Anand, and the District Collector of Mehsana, Shri M. Nagarajan. The initiative of Chitrakoot District was awarded the PM's Awards for Excellence in Public Administration on April 21, 2023. The initiative will be presented by Shri Abhishek Anand. He is an officer of the 2014 batch of Uttar Pradesh cadre, has a BTech degree in Mechanical Engineering from the National Institute of Technology, Allahabad. And he has served as SDM Kanpur and Chief Development Officer in DRDA at Faizabad. The second presentation would be made by the District Collector of Mehsana, Shri M. Nagarajan, an IAS officer of 2009 batch of Gujarat cadre. He has a master's degree in public policy and a master's degree in economics, and he has served as District Collector in Aravali District and Kutch District of Gujarat, and also as CEO of the Surat Smart City Mission and Commissioner Higher Education, Gujarat. He was declared the Startup Champion by Government of India. So these two initiatives have been recognized as the best practices by Government of India for improving the quality of education and also an equitable and inclusive classroom environment. So may I invite Shri Abhishek Anand, District Collector Chitrakoot, to kindly, we have a film before that. So we will play the film on the PM award winning initiatives, and after that I will invite Collector Chitrakoot. Yes, please.
उत्तर प्रदेश के बुंदेलखंड का चित्रकूट जिला समग्र शिक्षा के माध्यम से विद्यार्थियों की बदल रहा है पहचान।
जो रूरल जनपद है चित्रकूट, यहाँ पे ऑलमोस्ट 90% ऑफ हमारी जो पॉपुलेशन है वो हमारे गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स के माध्यम से सर्व होती है। तो गवर्नमेंट स्कूल का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इंप्रूव होना और यहाँ पे क्वालिटी एजुकेशन मिलना हमारे देश, हमारे राज्य, हमारे जनपद, इन सभी के फ्यूचर के लिए बहुत जरूरी है। समग्र शिक्षा का सबसे पहला पॉइंट तो ये है कि हम किसी भी बच्चे को पीछे न छोड़ें। हर बच्चा जो हमारे, चाहे वो किसी भी इकोनॉमिक बैकग्राउंड का हो, किसी भी सोशल बैकग्राउंड का हो, हम उसको एक समान शिक्षा उपलब्ध कराएं ताकि आगे के जीवन में उसकी अपॉर्चुनिटी बराबर रहे। इसी को ध्यान में रख के हम लोगों ने अपना पूरा इनिशिएटिव प्लान किया। चाहे इस पब्लिक स्कूल्स का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सुधार करना था, इसमें हमने अभूतपूर्व प्रयास किए। साथ ही साथ हमने इसमें समाज के नेग्लेक्टेड सेक्शंस थे, खास करके जैसे गर्ल चाइल्ड, छात्राओं का एनरोलमेंट हमने काफ़ी इंक्रीज किया। तो जो हम गर्ल चाइल्ड को मिनिस्ट्री में ला के अपने स्कूलों में, अपने सिस्टम में जोड़ के उनको पढ़ाना चाहते थे, उसमें हमने एक बहुत अच्छा, हमारे प्रयोग से एक अच्छा रिजल्ट मिला।
मैं जब बच्चों को छोड़ने जाता हूँ तो वहाँ देखा कि स्कूल में सारी सुविधाएं उपलब्ध हैं और जो है जितनी भी सुविधाएं हैं, शुद्ध पेयजल की व्यवस्था और विद्युत की व्यवस्था, अपने को सारी सुविधाएं बच्चों के लिए उपलब्ध हैं। इसलिए मुझे बड़ी खुशी होती है और बड़ा गर्व होता है कि आज हमारे बच्चे आज कुछ कर रहे हैं और बढ़ेंगे आगे तक।
छात्रों को हैप्पीनेस क्लासेस के अंतर्गत उनको कविताओं और कहानियों के माध्यम से शिक्षा दी जाती है और बच्चों को कुछ कल्चरल एक्टिविटीज कराने से बच्चे जो है स्कूल से जुड़े रहते हैं और प्रतिदिन विद्यालय आते हैं। बच्चे देश का भविष्य होते हैं और मुझे इस बात का गर्व है कि इस पिछड़े क्षेत्र में भी बच्चे अब प्रतिदिन विद्यालय आते हैं और पढ़ने में रुचि ले रहे हैं।
होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट की अगर जो बात करें तो ये बच्चों के लिए बहुत ही ज़्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है। नई शिक्षा नीति ने कहा है कि बच्चे का समग्रता में हमें विकास करना है और हमें उन्हें समग्र नागरिक के रूप में विकसित करना है। हमारे विद्यालयों में निरंतर व्यवस्थाएं अच्छी होती जा रही हैं कि विद्यालयों में और भी दूसरी तरह की व्यवस्थाएं जैसे कि स्मार्ट क्लासेस, तो ये बहुत ही सकारात्मक और सार्थक कदम है शिक्षा की प्रगति की दिशा में, शिक्षा के विकास की दिशा में।
समग्र शिक्षा में सभी बच्चों को शिक्षा की मुख्य धारा से जोड़ना है। हमारे सौभाग्य की बात है कि हम इन बच्चों को पढ़ा रहे हैं और यही हमारी राष्ट्र सेवा है।
मुझे स्कूल लगा इसलिए पता है क्योंकि बहुत हरा भरा है और सुंदर भी है और बहुत अच्छी अच्छी बातें सिखाई जाती है, इसलिए घर से अच्छा मुझे स्कूल लगता है।
मेरे को स्कूल आना इसलिए पसंद है, यहाँ लैब में भी जाना अच्छा लगता है और मेरे फ्रेंड्स भी बहुत अच्छे हैं और बैंड में भाग लेना भी अच्छा लगता है।
हम बड़े होकर डॉक्टर बनना चाहती हूँ।
उत्तर प्रदेश के बुंदेलखंड के चित्रकूट जिला द्वारा समग्र शिक्षा के माध्यम से स्कूली बच्चों के भविष्य निर्माण का किया जा रहा सफल प्रयास।
धर्म क्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुत्सव मामका पांडवाश्चैव किं कुर्वन्तः संजय।
ये एक अभूतपूर्व प्रयास है कि हम किस तरह से हमारे जो बच्चे हैं उनके भविष्य को संवार सकते हैं, किस तरह से इन बच्चों के लर्निंग आउटकम को इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं। और इसके बेस पे उन्होंने एक डायग्नोस्टिक टूल को डेवलप किया और इस तरह से जो हमारा प्रोजेक्ट है, प्रोजेक्ट पथ डिजाइन हुआ और इसमें हमने ये निश्चित किया कि हर कक्षा के बच्चे के लर्निंग आउटकम्स हम डिफाइन करेंगे। हम फाउंडेशनल लिटरेसी और न्यूमरेसी में बच्चों को बेसिक्स ऑफ द लैंग्वेज और बेसिक्स ऑफ मैथ सिखाने का प्रयास करते हैं। स्मार्ट क्लासरूम्स और डिजिटल क्लासरूम्स में उपयोग ज़्यादा हो रहा है और बच्चों को भी इसमें काफ़ी मज़ा आ रहा है सीखने में और इसके साथ जो असर है वो भी उनके शिक्षण के ऊपर काफ़ी प्रभाव पड़ा है। तो हम बच्चों को उस पर्टिकुलर प्रॉब्लम में न्यूमरेसी और लिटरेसी में कहाँ तक वो कर सकते हैं और कहाँ पे वो अटक रहे हैं उसको आइडेंटिफाई करने का प्रयास करते हैं। अमृत काल में जो इनोवेटिव माइंडसेट के साथ उनको जो आगे बढ़ना है, फ्री माइंड के साथ क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग को आगे बढ़ाना है, ये सब में ये फाउंडेशन लिटरेसी और न्यूमरेसी एक मेटा स्किल की तौर पे काम आएगा। ये जो प्रोजेक्ट है वो न सिर्फ बच्चों को बल्कि टीचर्स को भी ट्रेन करता है और टीचर्स को ये आइडेंटिफाई करने में मदद करता है कि कौन सा बच्चा FLN के किस एस्पेक्ट में कमजोर है, उसको किस तरह से ट्रेन करना है और किस तरह से उसको नेक्स्ट स्टेज में ले जाना है।
ये ऋतु हमें आपको वातावरण,
हम स्कूल में ऐसा वातावरण बनाने की कोशिश करते हैं जिससे बच्चे स्कूल में घर जैसा महसूस करें और वो खेल खेल में चीजों को सीख जाएं।
ये पण हमें बाळकों
स्कूल में कलरफुल स्ट्रक्चर्स और गेम्स बने हैं जिसे बच्चे काफी पसंद करते हैं। खेल खेल में पढ़ाने के कारण अब बच्चे भी ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट ले रहे हैं और हमें भी बच्चों को पढ़ाने में काफी आनंद आता है। मुझे अपने काम पर बहुत गर्व है। हमारे गांव के स्कूल अब इतने अच्छे हैं कि बच्चों को शहर नहीं भेजना पड़ता। जब मैं स्कूल में बच्चों को छोड़ने जाती हूँ तो मुझे अपने गांव के स्कूल पर गर्व होता है।
पहले हमें साइन करना हो या फिर बैंक का काम हो, उसमें परेशानी आती थी, लेकिन अब हमारे बच्चे ही हमें पढ़ने लिखने में मदद करते हैं।
गुजरात के मेहसाणा में प्रोजेक्ट पथ खेल खेल में बच्चों में लिटरेसी और न्यूमरेसी की नई समझ विकसित कर उन्हें उज्जवल भविष्य के लिए कर रहा है तैयार।
So I'll invite Shri Abhishek Anand, District Collector Chitrakoot, to make the first presentation on the theme Samagra Shiksha. Shri Abhishek Anand ji, please.
Good afternoon, sir. First of all, I would like to extend my thanks to Sir and DRP ji for giving me this opportunity. Please share the presentation. Good afternoon, everyone. As you saw, Chitrakoot is a part of Bundelkhand region in the UP, and it is lagging behind in socio-economic indicators compared to the rest of the state and the rest of the country. Our initiative here in Chitrakoot was focused on improving the quality of primary education through Samagra Shiksha initiatives. Our initiative focused mainly on physical transformation of public schools and enhancing the quality of education through innovative audiovisual techniques such as smart classes, novel standardized TLM, and while increasing the inclusivity of the education, especially focusing on girl child and out of school children. Next. Chitrakoot is as I said, Chitrakoot is also one of the aspirational districts selected in Uttar Pradesh to improve its socio-economic indicators. Next. Around 90% of the population is catered by public school system due to lack of private schools in this district. So it was much more important for us to improve the quality of the infrastructure and quality of the education of the public school system. Why the need of intervention is there, it is mentioned in the first table. First of all, infrastructure deficit. The schools were in really bad condition due to lack of attention and lack of attention of the local institutions. Level of student attentiveness was also very low. Quality of education was also not satisfactory. And another important parameter was that girl education in this area was suffering. And out of school children के लिए कोई special अभियान इस type से we were not able to do it. What was our strategy to implement this initiative? First of all, we decided to improve the physical infrastructure of the schools through Mission Kayakal to improve the infrastructure of the schools. We planned it in such a way that all the stakeholders and all the agencies, whichever are working in the rural areas, should contribute in this through their convergence of funds. For example, Gram Panchayats were involved, PDOs were involved for their Kshet Panchayat funds and Manrega funds. MP and honorable MPs and MLAs were also involved. Their funds were also used. District Mineral Fund was used. Niti Aayog special award money was used, and CSR funds were also used. Second, to improve the attentiveness of the level of students, we tried an innovative approach. We introduced smart classes in around 250 of the classrooms during the evaluation period. Now I'm happy to say that we have introduced around we have saturated around 550 schools with the smart classes, and we improved the learning material. We organized a competition among the teachers to create innovative TLM for teaching the students about maths, about geometric shapes, about numbers, about geography for senior students, or science models for senior students. And then we evaluated all that TLM and standardized the TLM across the whole our 1256 schools across the district. For improving the inclusion, because inclusive education is a big parameter of Samagra Shiksha, that girls should feel comfortable, should feel safe, and their parents should be motivated to so that girls can attend our school system safely and in a regular manner. So to improve the inclusiveness of the education, we also focus on what is hindering the girls. We organize mass meetings across our schools where female officers used to visit, and Anganwadi and Ashas were also called, and they motivated the mother groups to send their girl children. We also improved our school infrastructure, especially for girl education. So that we installed a separate girl toilet there. We installed incinerators in upper primary and junior schools to promote hygiene. And we also organized special parent-teacher meetings which were especially focused on girl education. Out of school children, as it's a rural district, migration is also a big issue. And there were out of school children also whose parents were migrating seasonally in search of labor opportunities. We also started a special campaign for out of school children, which I will tell in detail. And multiple departmental stakeholders acted in this, which was all coordinated at district level by our team so that we could implement this strategy. Next. First of all, coming to physical infrastructure of schools, as you can see, the funds I've already discussed that funds were provided by all implementing agencies, and we involved all the local representatives. For example, the local pradhans were actively involved in this. We also organized a competition where local pradhans were felicitated. That whoever made the best school will be felicitated at district level. They are also felicitated at state level because some pradhans were really motivated and they made such beautiful campuses that they were felicitated by Honorable CM. Just to share the detail, around 87 crores were spent across 2.5 years to improve the infrastructure of schools. And all these funds is bearing Niti Aayog funds of around 4 and 5 crore. All these funds were organized at district level through this Gram Panchayat, Manrega, MP MLA lads, Block Panchayat funds, DMF funds, and CSR funds. We just to see the magnitude of the construction. If we see the construction opportunities we took around across the district, we constructed around 320 school boundaries, 308 boys toilets, 340 girls toilets, 165 kitchen sets, 659 multiple hand washing units, 690 campuses were electrified either using the grid or solar technique. We electrified 690 campuses, 1500 plus classrooms were tiled. I'm happy to say that 3 out of 9 schools that were awarded in 2022 by Honorable CM of UP, around 9 schools were awarded at the state level. 3 schools were from Chitkut only from one district. Now, around in 2023, if around 95% of our schools are saturated across all the 19 parameters, which has been given by the state education department. Next. This is just the figures showing the difference between the saturation levels in March 2022 and March 2022. In 2023, almost all the parameters, barring 1-2 parameters, have been totally saturated across the. This, as you can see, the parameters, these are very important to promote a healthy lifestyle in the children. Drinking water was not available earlier. Toilets were not available earlier. Running water in toilets was a big issue because it's a water scarce district. But because of government Jal Jeevan Mission scheme, we also got a big help in this. We converged both these schemes and provided running water in toilets, tiling of toilets, multiple hand washing units to promote Honorable PM Swachh Bharat scheme and Swasth Bharat scheme, tiling of classrooms, ramps and railings, electrification and equipments, electric connection, TLM and boundary wall. To promote a safe campus, a beautiful campus, boundary wall is also necessary. We constructed boundary walls in 100% of the schools through Manrega funds. Next. This is some of the photos of the work being here. Multiple, as you can see, multiple hand washing unit, MDM shed, toilets, TLM and wall paintings. Next. These are photos of some of the campus. As you can see, a girl toilet with incinerator has been installed in every school. Next. These are some of the drone shots of the schools. We shared this, whoever Pradhan constructed good schools, we shared this in meeting across the BDOs and Pradhans also. That's if some Pradhan has constructed such a school, you can also construct. You can see such a beautiful campus with boundary, green campus, tiled and everything was done across the district. Next. Next. This shows that some schools were off grid. We were not able to connect electricity through grid connectivity. So we installed solar panels and gave them off grid electrification. Next. Coming to the second part of the initiative, we also had to improve the quality of the education and to capture the students' attention, students and teachers' attention. So to motivate them and to bring a new approach to education, because it is proved that a audio-visual approach to education and something you see and something you hear is much more smartly captured than whatever you read, you are reading or writing. So to promote that, we introduced smart classrooms. We introduced smart classroom in 280 schools during the evolution period, and now I'm happy to share that after seeing the success, we have installed another 270. Now around 50% of the schools are saturated with smart classrooms, and we have targeted that we will be saturating around 90% by end of August 23. This first figure shows the source of the smart classrooms. NITI Aayog funds provided for the bulk of it. Urban Mission was also done. District Mineral Fund and CSR funds also used for this. What is the advantages of smart classrooms? These smart classrooms come preloaded with preloaded content from NCERT from class 1 to 12. They also comes with animated videos and other videos which promote the learning. They also have access to online education platforms. The state government runs a Shiksha online learning platform. They also have access to it. And there is a better cognitive development through learning by seeing, listening, and speaking. And we have seen that higher levels of attentiveness and retention of content taught in the classroom. And small kids, especially from class 1 to 3, are more engaged in extracurricular activities, and whatever the teacher engages in activities through the smart classrooms. Next. These are some of the photos of the smart classrooms we have installed across Chipmunk. Next. Coming to TLM, as I was sharing earlier, that teacher learning material, it's a very important part of education, because as teachers and students are actively involved in building it. First of all, it creates motivation for a competition among teachers that whoever can create the best TLM. We recognize those teachers and then standardize those TLM across the whole district in all our 1256 schools. As you can see, there are a variety of TLMs being in the second photos. You can see there is a TLM about nutrition. There is a TLM about shapes, where you can learn about shapes, the different type of geometric shape, different type of mathematical shape. You can also learn about science, geography, globes were used, maps were used, and some of the students, teachers and students jointly created this teacher learning material, teaching learning material to improve the quality of the education. Next. There is a small testimonial video. I would like to share it, please.
समानता के बारे में बताया जाता है और उनके विचारों के बारे में बताया। इसके अलावा विद्यालय में होने वाले जो सांस्कृतिक कार्यक्रम होते हैं, जिससे संबंधित भी वीडियो बच्चों को दिखाए जाते हैं, जिनको देखकर के फॉलो करते बच्चे और अच्छे से अच्छा प्रदर्शन करते हैं।
As you can see, children are really thrilled about, and there is a novel approach to education. So they are also more interested in this. We have seen that classes with smart classes, schools with smart classes have seen more increase in enrollment, and the attendance figures we have collected from the smart schools where smart classes have been installed and regularly used. Attendance figures are also very encouraging. So both children and parents and also teachers, because they are getting to teach something on a new technique, they are very motivated, and we are trying to make it more sustainable. Our NGO partners are there. We are working at 3-4 NGO partners: Pyramid Foundation, ICCI Foundation, and Sampark Foundation, which are increasing the which are training the teachers and the teaching staff so that smart classes can be used more effectively, and we can improve the quality of education. Coming to inclusive education, because inclusive education is a very important part of Samagra Shiksha, that all types of children, whether they come from whatever economic background, social background, or whatever background, whatever, if they are suffering from any disability, they are all brought in the mainstream of education, and they get a minimum education which can lead them to for a more dignified and more dignified life. This is about focus on children with special needs. We had around 1,650 children with special needs across the district. We identified all these, and they were motivated to come to schools, and special educators were enrolled with them. Some children who were not able to come to school because they suffered from multiple disabilities, multiple orthopedic disabilities, or disabilities like cerebral palsy. We also introduced home-based education for them, where at least one visit per week was done by social educator, and they tried to impart the basic education in home also. Next. These are some pics from home-based education, where the special educators are visiting the homes of them and trying to impart the basic education. Next. Next. Play the video. As you can see, Harshita is a student who is suffering from cerebral palsy, but we have allotted a special educator so that we can also include her in the mainstream education. The second problem in the inclusive education was out of school children. Around in April 20, we had around 3,246 out of school children who were not coming to schools, or who were rather enrolled but not coming to school regularly. And we did a special campaign across these years, and we have identified around 2,758 children and brought them back into our mainstream education system. How did we achieve this? We achieved this by a special campaign where house to house visit by teachers were done, meeting of school management committee members with parents of out of school children, orientation of parents on benefits of education and incentives. This was very important because our state government is providing them direct DBT for uniform, for shoes, for books, and all that thing. And we also in the honorable PM's initiative for MDM, and special MDM campaign was also introduced to them, where fruit and milk was also given on separate days of the week to promote them to come to schools. And involvement of village level functionaries. This was very important because Anganwadi, Asha, and Rozgar Sevak, these had access to all the homes because of variety of reasons, because they did immunization, they did provide maternal services. We also involved them to motivate these parents to send their children back to school. And Ma Samu played a very important part in it. Next. These are some photos of SMC meetings of orientation of mothers, Ma Samu, where teacher called the mother of the child and organized a special meeting, and village level functionary with parents. Coming to the next part, how did we, because there were multiple strategies and multiple stakeholders, so a common platform was needed to converge all this and manage all the data and all the feedback which is coming from the field. So we were greatly helped by Prerna Nirikshan app. This has been developed by Government of Uttar Pradesh Basic Education Department, and it has a questionnaire for all the things, whatever the school's infrastructure capacity is there, how the teachers are performing, what kind of pedagogy they are using, and what is the technique they are using. So we created accounts of around 109 officers across this Prerna Nirikshan app. All the block level officers, subdivision level officers, and district level officers were instructed to install this app. We created their profiles on this, such as CDO, DD, PDs, SDMs, MOICs, the supply inspectors, district program officers, CDPOs, all the officers which are working at block level, subdivision level, or district level, and they were going to visit the rural areas. And we instructed them to visit at least 2 schools, 3 schools per week. All the inspection things, as you can see, all the inspection was uploaded on the app. We took this data from the app and we used it in our supervision meetings to see that if certain videos are performing or not, Gram Panchayat Pradhans are performing or not, or whatever the thing has been allocated to teachers or basic education department, they are performing or not. If they are not performing, then we took some corrective action so that we can improve it. This created a good feedback mechanism for us, which we used in our initiative. Next. These are some photos of the meetings we took. Next. Coming to impact. What was the impact of this initiative we took across these years to improve the physical infrastructure of the school system, introduced an innovative way through smart classes and TLM, and made education more inclusive by focusing on girl education and education of out-of-school children and children with special needs. As you can see, we saw an increase in enrollment across all our blocks, and overall the district increase in district enrollment figures was around 10%. But the most encouraging fact in this was that about 2/3 of the increase in enrollment it came from the girl child. And this was a very encouraging fact for us. This showed us that the initiative which we took for improving the infrastructure, for making schools more safe by using boundary walls and making schools more inclusive by giving them separate toilet facilities and other facilities and focusing on mass amus, girl education enrollment figures have really increased in this. Now our challenge is to maintain this across the years and make it more sustainable. Next. We also did an analysis on the schools which are farthest from the block, because Chitkut is a very difficult terrain with plateaus and some Vindhya range also is coming here. So we took an analysis on the remotest schools of each block, where the terrain was hard and it was more inaccessible from the district or the block. And we also saw an increase in their enrollment figure also, boys enrollment also and girls enrollment rate. The traditionally backward areas which have been backward because of inaccessibility have also increased and witnessed higher total enrollment as well as girls enrollment. Showcasing that we have, our initiative has reached the depth of the public education system and touched the lives of the parents. Next. These are some of the photos of the award. Honorable PM awarded the team Chitkut the Prime Minister's Award for Excellence in Public Administration 2022 for this Samagra Shiksha initiative. Next. As I was sharing earlier, out of 9 schools awarded across the state in 2022, 3 schools were from one district only, and this was a big achievement for us. Next. These are some of the media clippings. Next. Our way forward. As I was sharing that the first point, the 100% saturation in all infrastructure parameters, we have already achieved it by 2023. Our school session will start by 3rd July. We already achieved it, barring 1-2 parameters. Educational tours, in this summer season, when the schools were closed, we implemented summer camp and educational tours across our district. Science, we are focusing on science and astronomy labs, at least in upper primary schools, through CSR and District Mineral Foundation. And smart classes in 550 more phone classes. Already we have increased the smart classes from 280 to 500, and we are targeting that we will be getting around across 900 or 950 by August or September end. And solar panels in 225 more schools. We are now, as we have covered all the off-grid schools, we are now focusing on schools where electricity they are connected to electricity, but there is a problem in reliable electrical supply. We are focusing on solar panels there to improve the reliability of the electrical supply. Next. Thank you, sir, and thank you everyone for listening so patiently about our initiative which we took in Chitkut, and for that we were recognized.
Thank you very much, Abhishek ji. We have benefited from listening to you. It has been a huge success, and a lot of hard work has gone into making this transformation possible. I'll now invite, kindly stay in the web room. We'll come back to the question answer session after the second presentation. I will now invite Sri M. Nagarajan, the collector of Mehsana, Gujarat, to kindly make his presentation. Nagarajan ji.
Very good afternoon, sir. Very warm good afternoon to all the panelist members present here and also to everyone joining online. On behalf of Team Mehsana, I am very happy to present this quality education initiative under Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, and for excellence. I am also having with me Dr. Om Prakash. He is a district development officer who has been also hands-on and leading the project for the last 2 years. Sir, I am very happy to share that this project has been one of the best practices. While implementation itself, the state government had taken note of it. Next. Sir, Honorable Prime Minister had said that the ability to read and write and perform basic operations is going to benefit the student throughout his life. So the Nipun Bharat mission, it has a special emphasis on this basic literacy and numeracy, and that is the area this project also has focused. Under the SR report, sir, 2018, it showed that many of the students at higher classes were not able to read properly even a lower grade text. For example, a class 8 students, almost 72% of them were only able to read a class 2 level of text. So this kind of gaps were glaring in the quality of education in our country. And also, sir, after the pandemic, there was a further loss of ability to read and write in the students because of the gap in the education services provided. And that led to the realization by Team Mehsana that something needs to be done to bridge the gap. Sir, under this initiative, next, we are calling this project PATH, where in English we are calling it as PATHA, PATA. Sir, P stands for problem identification, A for assessment and diagnosis, and T for teacher training and hand holding in remedial as H, and then finally assessment of impact. So this project covers 994 elementary schools of Mehsana. Next. Sir, under the problem identification, there was a grade specific FLN assessment test was conducted in September 2021 to assess the learning level of students in foundation literacy, reading, writing and numeracy skills. And then a diagnosis test was prepared by the FLN task force, which was constituted by the district administration. And this test was administered to all the 1.38 lakh students of Mehsana district studying in class 3 to 8 as part of this identification exercise. Sir, the result came out very drastically that almost 30% of students were lagging in any one of these skills. 28.56% students were lagging in reading, 30% students were weak in writing, and almost 30% students were lagging in numeracy skills also. After this assessment, the team went on to look at various interventional options, and this FLN task force consisted of 20 teachers who were very good on their jobs and were able to come together and put together a plan to create better outcomes. So, sir, this team was entrusted with the responsibility of creating an evaluation mechanism to find out grade specific foundational literacy and numeracy outcomes, create the necessary content and entire plan for training the stakeholders and further hand holding. Along with the district administration, sir, the team got to work and they developed guidelines and worksheets for literacy, reading, writing and numeracy skills. And also the FLN task force prepared an assessment rubrics ladder which will help in the diagnostic of the student. So the students were divided in 11 steps. The reading and writing skills were divided into 11 steps and numeracy skills were also further divided into up to 63 steps. So, sir, from class 3 to 8, there was a graded approach for assessment and also to find out the students at what level they are available, at what level they are performing. So that, sir, the performance of these students was being tracked on a daily basis once the intervention started. The guidebook that was prepared has not only the assessment but also the interventional support for the teachers so that they can use the methodologies given to them in the guidebook, which they can be implemented in their day-to-day working with the students, and then they can assess again to see the outcomes. The diet staff, sir, is the teacher training institute where were trained in the face-to-face mode and also to understand the concept and methodology, identifying specific problem area of student and how to remedy the same. Overall, sir, total 1,956 stakeholders were trained in 2 phases, and very heavy usage of Diksha portal was made because it was a national resource that was already available, and that helped us in tapping into it very quickly using the digital mode. Also, and a lot of online mechanisms were also used in training and continuous handholding, sir. The DAT Mehsana has created a training management system in which training schedule and outcome of every FLN teachers were also tracked. So the training effectiveness also could be ascertained with these kind of measures. Along with FNL training, sir, periodic review of performance at the school level, both for the teachers and also the students were done to ensure by the district level team and also block level teams. And in handholding, sir, a lot of activities were taken, and also in assessment, which I would like to request my fellow officer, Dr. Om Prakash, to throw some light on this.
Sir, in foundational literacy and numeracy, sir, handholding is very important because on the daily basis we are assessing our students, and not only students, all the teachers who are teaching them foundational literacy and numeracy skills are also being trained parallelly, sir. So in handholding exercise, sir, even each and every school children out of 1.38 lakh students, every students were being tracked for their grade specific and level specific learning outcomes. The methodology is like that. We are having a broad A1 size paper, sir, where each student is having their name, and in the right side, as sir mentioned, all 63 sub steps were defined. So we were training students, we were teaching them step by step, and we tried to achieve the desired learning outcome. And after that, if the particular student is stuck in any particular learning outcome, we are handholding them after school hours in extra classes, as well as the group of similar students where they are having specific problems. We are also handholding them. Sir, due to this constant exercise, sir, we have seen the very good improvement in their learning outcomes. And sir, due to this complete exercise throughout the year, just next, I would like to discuss about the results, sir. Sir, the improvement in foundational literacy and numeracy is evident in all the blocks, sir. This not only reflects the quantitative improvement in their learning outcomes, but also qualitative outcomes also, sir. Sir, all the students, sir, we out of our more than 40%, we have divided students in 3 subgroups, sir. Students, those are getting less than 40% marks. When Honorable PM was Chief Minister of Gujarat, he used to address these students as Priya students, dear students, because these are the students who are who needs more attention and more affection of the FLN teacher. So we categorize students into 3 parts. One, who is getting less than 40% are dear students. Those who are getting 40 to 79% are medium students, and those who are getting more than 80% are good students. So the number of dear students increased from 1,02,328 to 1,07,640. So it is a significant improvement in student achieving more than 40%, sir. Also, sir, student getting more than 80% marks have increased from 53,199 to 58,434. So year by year comparison of student getting more marks in less than 40% category as well as more than 80% category is more 5,000 plus students. Also, sir, the learning outcomes of all the students in all the grades have also increased significantly. So the bar of average performance has also increased. So that signifies the qualitative improvement in their study level, sir. We have seen, sir, the next. Sir, the qualitative and quantitative improvement in all 3 category of students is reflected in this slide, sir. The maximum improvement is seen in Jotana block, sir, second last, the red line. The dear students, student getting less than 20%, less than 40% marks decreased significantly by 27%, and those all converted into medium category students, sir. the maximum improvement in the student getting more than 80% marks is seen in the Vadnagar block. Sir, around 35% increment is seen in the student getting more than 80% marks, sir. So this is a significant achievement, sir. Apart from these achievements, sir, there are other significant achievements that Project Patha has achieved, sir. The initiative has been praised across all the stakeholders in the education department, and Government of Gujarat has issued a circular in January 22 to roll out this project across the state, sir, and this presently is being rolled out across the state. Probably, sir, we are the only district in entire India who has framed grade-specific outcomes for FLN till grade 5. Even, sir, Nipun Bharat is having has specified FLN outcomes up to grade 3 only, sir. As emphasized by Honorable PM in his speech, that improvement in FLN is significantly improves learning outcomes in the other related subject also, sir. This gets proved in the result of first semester exams of November 2022 in Gujarat, where all 5 FLN related subjects like Hindi, English, Sanskrit, Gujarati and Maths, our result is better than state average in all these subjects in all grades from grade 3 to grade 8. And sir, we are our grades are way ahead than the grades of average grades of the Gujarat state, sir. Sir, training material prepared by FLN Task Force has accepted in its original form and made available on Diksha platform, and till now more than 20,000 teachers have been trained through this, benefited through this training material, sir. So far, sir, FLN Task Force have trained more than 500 master trainers across the state, sir. And on daily basis, our teachers are training other districts teachers, sir. So this is the, sir, initiative has proved the potential and importance of government schools, sir, especially in rural India. And it's the story of dedication, innovation and ownership shown by, sir, teachers of Mehsana district, sir. This is all about this initiative. Thank you, sir.
Sir, in summary, just I would like to highlight 2 points which are the key achievements of this project, sir. One is that grade-specific diagnostic tool and interventional kit was prepared, and teachers training hand-holding was done. And the impact is that there is an overall positive movement of student towards better outcomes across all the grades. So there is a greater movement across, there is an impact on every student in some way or the other. So these are 2 bottom lines of this initiative, sir. And I think these are scalable already in Gujarat, and it would be a good model for the country also. And we are so happy to be able to present this to this august audience. Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir.
Thank you very much, Nagarajanji. Congratulations on what has been a very visible transformation across Gujarat's schools, and of course with particular focus on Mehsana. I have a few questions. Let me call Abhishek Anand. Please explain this Prerana inspection app that has been presented, and who is the monitoring authority of this Prerana inspection app? The second one is on this so much of construction works being taken up across the district of Chitrakoot. So who is the agency for construction and how are the quality of works monitored? And thirdly, what is your personal involvement as district collector with this program of Samagra Shiksha? Abhishek Anand, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, coming first to the first question, sir, Prerana Inspection App. Sir, Prerana Inspection App has been designed by the State Mission Directorate, sir. It facilitates the inspection of the schools on all parameters, on infrastructure parameter, quality of education, teachers, attendance, and all that, sir. And it has data points for all those things. Sir, the monitoring authority is state government in this case, sir. And the nodal officer for the district is Basic Shiksha Adhikari, who has the access that which officers have inspected and what is the report coming out of that inspection and what is the feedback, which is presented in our, we have a monthly meeting, sir, District Education Committee meeting, of which DM is the chairperson and the Chief Development Officer is the vice chairperson. And all stakeholders are members of this. For example, all development departments as a social welfare officer, DC Narega, PD, DRD, and all those are members of this committee. And this Prerana inspection data is presented in that committee.
And the construction agency?
Sir, coming to the second question, sir, because multiple stakeholders were involved in this, sir. For example, whatever work was done through Gram Panchayats, there are 15 Finance Commission and State Finance Commission funds. So Gram Panchayat was the construction agency, and the quality was monitored through BDO. For example, coming next to the second point is the boundary walls were constructed through Narega. So Narega also Gram Panchayat was the execution agency and the BDO was the monitoring agency. Special interventions which were done, for example, smart classes we did through Niti Aayog funds or district mineral funds. For that, Basic Shiksha Adhikari was the executing agency because these were procured through GEM and installed through some companies, and he was the monitoring authority, and the district officers also monitored it. And all other things, especially the construction part, was taken by Gram Panchayats or Chet Panchayats, and concerned BDO was the monitoring agency for the quality of the work and the timely execution of the work.
And how much time could you devote to this particular project in your tenure?
Sir, as I said, sir, we had in 15 days we had meetings with all our concerned stakeholders. For all BDOs were called in it, all SDMs were called in it, and Basic Shiksha Adhikari and his subordinates, additional Basic Shiksha Adhikaris, who are the nodal officers of primary education for the blocks, they were called in it. And this Prerna inspection data was used as a feedback mechanism. We monitored it, and whichever block was lagging behind, for example, we had to set a target at this much boundary walls or this much tiling or this much, this girl toilet should be constructed by this period. If it was lagging behind, then we took corrective action. The BDO, we instructed the concerned BDO to take corrective action in terms of infrastructure, in terms of smart classes and their training and their use. Basic Shiksha Adhikari was instructed to take corrective action, and other initiatives which were taken by education department, for example, Mahasamu, parent-teacher meeting, mobilization of out-of-school children, special educators. This committee then directed the Basic Shiksha Adhikari to take corrective action. We met in 15 days during this initiative, sir, and we monitored it very closely.
Thank you. Nagarajan ji, can you please tell us about the Vidya Samiksha Kendra, because Vidya Samiksha Kendra was a very successful initiative of Government of Gujarat, and it received the PM Awards for Excellence in Public Administration 2021, conferred on April 21, 2022. And how the Vidya Samiksha Kendra's portals and digital platforms were used in Mehsana district, particularly for this FLN task force for training of all stakeholders. I was looking at the photograph and I saw a digital screen in a primary school. So how was the Vidya Samiksha Kendra's digital platforms available?
Sir, the Vidya Samiksha Kendra was conceptualized as a command and control center for education, school education activities. And it was started, sir, almost 2.5 years, 3 years ago. And it has been evolving over a period of time. They started with, sir, during COVID period about online teaching by having a centralized mechanism, monitoring teachers' attendance, enabling that the cluster resource coordinators and block coordinators actually visit the schools. So they gave mobile tablets and applications to ensure their visit in schools are really happening, and their locations were also initially monitored. So it was initially started as a monitoring mechanism for all the field functionaries, and a call center was also established to cross-check the various parameters and reports that is being done. So later on, sir, the individual weekly tests which is being conducted for the students, that outcomes were also mapped in a common platform. So there was a diagnostic intervention that was happening for across all the students. And it is happening at scale across the state. Individual learner outcome for each subject is now available and trackable at the central mechanism, sir. Supporting with this, a G-Shala app has been prepared, sir, in which learning materials are also available. So our FLN teaching in this project, we have used the G-Shala application also along with the Diksha portal content, sir. And what the FLN project here adds to the current Vidya Samiksha Kendra initiative is that we are providing the diagnostic, not just diagnostic, but also interventional, the hand holding for the teachers, which will rightly now be finding place along with the Vidya Samiksha Kendra activity. So it is complementary in addition to what the statewide initiative is happening, sir.
My colleague Srimati Jayadubeji has a question for you, please.
Sir.
Yeah, this question is to both the collectors. There is a possibility that the learning outcome, some children still lag in learning outcomes in spite of your best efforts. So do you have any plan for those students to include vocational subjects in your curriculum at the early stages of schooling? Thank you.
Mehsana first, please.
Yes, sir. Sir, we are all aware that this is a continuous effort because each cohort there will be new students coming up and constantly we will be trying to intervene with them. And despite, sir, whatever grade the student is, the diagnostic kit provides his current status. For example, he may be in class 5, but still his current level may be in class 3. And we will continuously make him up to class 5. And again, he will be diagnosed in class 6, whether he is up to class 6 ability. So this will be a continuous process and we will have to certainly focus on students with maybe some learning disabilities or not having enough support from their parents and all. There will be some 3 to 5% of students, sir. We have to specially focus on them. We have every Saturday, sir, monitoring test by the state government, which is called Ekam Kasoti. And through this exam test also, we are able to know this kind of focus of children. As far as vocational education is concerned, sir, we have got the national and state policies along with the syllabus. So we are only doing that. We are not doing anything special for vacation, especially in these early interventions, sir. But as a district level initiative, recently we have started a focus on Atal Tinkering Labs and the innovation initiatives that they are supposed to fulfill in the middle schools. So, sir, we have started an innovation mission in Mehsana where already we have had a workshop with ATL schools and non-ATL schools also to come together and work on this aspect where actual skill of using the Atal Tinkering kits is delivered. So that is a part can be treated as one sort of actual skill delivery to higher education, middle school students, sir.
Thank you. I'll request all participants to kindly switch on their cameras so that we can have a group photograph for the tweet. Can you kindly switch on your cameras? Nobody's. Can you kindly switch on your cameras once? ऑफ इसका ग्रिड में आना चाहिए स्पीकर व्यू ग्रिड व्यू कैन यू गेट अ ग्रिड व्यू या उसको बोलो उनको बोलिए ना ग्रिड व्यू ना सो दैट वी कैन गेट अ फोटो सिग्नल कर रहे हैं आकाश कर रहे हैं बोलिए ना आकाश ग्रिड व्यू So, I'll invite Srimati Jayadubeji, Joint Secretary DRPG, to extend the vote of thanks, please.
Respected Secretary Shri V. Srinivas ji, Additional Secretary Shri Amarnath ji, District Collector Chitrakoot Shri Abhishek Anand ji, District Collector Mehsana Shri M. Nagarajan ji, and all distinguished participants. On behalf of TRPG, I express my gratitude for your participation in the 15th National Webinar on Good Governance and first in the series of 12 in the year 23-24. First and foremost, we extend our sincerest thanks to the Secretary DRPG, whose personal commitment for continuous learning have created this knowledge ecosystem in the form of national webinar on initiatives awarded under PM's Award for Excellence in Public Administration. The purpose of these webinars are that we must benefit from each other's learning curves and their unique experiences to save time and efforts in reinventing the wheels. This session was truly great learning. Thank you, sir, for providing this opportunity. My sincere thanks to District Collectors of Mehsana and Chitrakoot. You have shared your experience and learning with us in transforming school education in your respective districts. I have noted that both the collectors have made efforts to improve learning outcomes by adopting a scientific approach towards learning, which also fosters critical thinking and a quest for understanding besides focusing on infrastructure. I hope their experience will encourage other districts too for similar experiments in school education under Samagra Shiksha. We also thank National Center for Good Governance for coordinating logistics and ensuring excellent execution of this event. And last but not least, my thanks to the NIC team for smooth conduct of this webinar. Thank you.
So with that, we conclude the 15th National Good Governance webinar series. I thank all participants for making it convenient to attend this event. Thank you very much.